wonder sometimes how we exist? What causes us to have like the shapes of our eyes or our legs or like our body? Well, it comes from our DNA. To be fair, nucleic acids are one of the macromolecules that make up one of our building blocks for life. Remember that from your 8th grade science class? We were always told that we couldn't change our DNA, that what we were born with was what we had for the rest of our lives. Well, sometimes that's not really fair to people that were born with genetic diseases. In the X-Men movies, there's a bunch of dudes with powers. These powers can vary from person to person depending on their DNA genome. AKA, Wolverine can regenerate fast and Magneto can control the Earth's magnetic field. Science fiction, right? Well, there's some truth to it. They get their superpowers from mutations in their DNA, which is basically when wrong nucleotide bases bind to their non-specific complementary base. Such as if adenine binds with guanine, you get a deadly disease called sickle cell anemia. The bigger picture that I'm trying to explain is that we can change our DNA down to our nucleotide sequences, which would allow us to express different phenotypical traits. Change the genotype, new phenotype. Using molecular mechanisms such as gene editors, aka CRISPR-Cas9, we can delete the genes that encode for many genetic diseases. CRISPR-Cas9 is a molecular mechanism that can delete gene sequences or insert new gene sequences. It works like this. The component of CRISPR-Cas9 contains a nucleus and target DNA. The molecule reads the entire genome to find a specific sequence that will either cut out or insert a new DNA sequence. The nucleuses then cleave the DNA and allow NAA or NOPH to bind the DNA segments back together. This allows for new sequences to be transcribed, which would lead to new proteins being made. These proteins then coordinate with DNA sequences to express the desired phenotype. So how does this impact our future? It can, in truth, decrease the likelihood of obtaining cancer. For example, we can use this mechanism to delete the specific genes that are cancerous, such as the BRCA2 genes in breast cancer. Cancer is inheritable, but if we implement this mechanism in gene editing, we could ultimately get rid of the inheritance of this specific gene. It can also work for other genetic diseases, such as Alzheimer's or Hunter's disease. If you were born without a leg, gene editing could allow you to basically grow a leg. Gene editing could allow for your cells to regenerate, and then bam, a leg. With this new technology, a lot can change. Ages can be reversed, people could grow taller. However, there are definitely ethical values that should be considered, such as, not making an army full of clones of supernatural people. But then again, it is exciting to know that new technology like this can be made and hopefully can be implemented into our healthcare so that cancer is not one of the underlying diseases that kill so many people.